SSIS one. So, before going to the SSIS, I will give some of the disadvantages with the tables. Okay. Now, there are a couple of scenarios, right. See, I got a table, I got a this is a database on server 1, okay, database 1 and database 2. So, this I will write this one database 1 and database 2 on server 1. There is one more called server 2, it has a database 1 and database 2. Okay, now, if I want to load the data from this server to this server or this server to this server, vice versa, anyway, anything. Okay. Now, the first and foremost thing which I need to do is that I need to create a linked server between both the servers. I need to add this linked server in this server, and I need to add the linked server for S2 in this server. So, I need to do, after adding the linked server, then I will write, I will based on some open queries and based on some select queries, I will be calling the tables. I will be calling the tables from both the servers. Okay. If I want to call the tables from server 2 into the server 1, if let us say there is a table in the server 1, okay, table 1, I want to join this table with the table in server 2, there is a table 2. I want to join this both the tables, and I want to load it into one table, final table called 3T. What I need to do? I need to create a linked server, establish a linked server, then join them, and then you use then you will give the output. So, basically what happens whenever you do this scenario, okay, linked server means it takes more time. If you want to transfer the data between two servers, it is going to take use of time, and the operations and the things that you can perform on that will be very less. Okay, the operations which you can perform on the linked tables which are connected linked servers are very few. It is you will be having only limited options. Okay, and there are couple of other things also. When let us say you want to merge the data from two servers and load it into other server called server 3, then how difficult is on the server 3 you need to create two linked servers for the server 1 and server 2, then you need to join both the tables, and then you need to load into the server 3. So, for everything, users means they should know a linked server, and they should create some security for the linked server, because every table will have some limited action, limited security. So, you need to create that. There will be many things, like it will be complex for you to do. You need to create many things to do. Okay. Let us say there is a file, there is a flat file, text file, and if you want to load the data from the text file into a table, you can do it, but not as easy as it. You can't do transformations on the table. You can only few things you can do. If you want to load the data from Excel, then it will be like kind of different thing. If you want to load the data from some different types of files like XML file in the TC, but you need to write some T-SQL query and load them. But you can't do the operations that you can do on that will be very limited. You can't do like big operations on this one. Okay, like there are many disadvantages and advantages by using this T-SQL to load the data into SSIS. You can write some T-SQL queries on the same server. You can do whatever you want. Okay, that is the one thing. Now, basically what happens, Microsoft what it did, it created a tool called SSIS. Okay, SSIS means SQL Server Integration Services. Okay. So, what you are going to do in integration services is that you will create one connection on the package. You will call this one as a package. Okay. There will be a you need to create one package. Package is nothing but it's a kind of one place. Okay. So, there you will be creating connections for 3. Let us say I want to do this scenario where I want to load the data from 3 servers. I want to load the data from 2 servers into a third server. Okay. I want to load the data from server 1, server 2 into the server 3. This is what I want to do. So, normally what you do by SSIS, you can take server 1, you can take server 2, and then direct automatically, like virtually you can do that. There is no need for you to create a linked server in the server 3, then there is no need to create a linked server for server 1, server 2, nothing you will be doing. Just you will create connections like where this server 1 is executed, like you will create a properties for that, you will give the server name dot database name, and the same thing you will do for the server 2, the same thing you will do for the server 3, and you create multiple connection managers. You will call that property is called connection manager, server 1, okay, server 2 and server 3. So what system does? Whatever the data you want, you can get it from server 1, whatever the data you want, you can get it from server 2, and the system will use the system memory. SSIS packages will use some external memory, okay. Then it will load the data into that memory, and that data will be, you can load into a different other database, okay. Like it is a virtual and it is very easy. Instead of creating linked server, you can do anything. Even for in between loading the data, you can do whatever the transformations you want. Transformations in the kind, you can convert you in the between, after getting the data from the S2, S1, you can join with the other server S4. That all things, many things you can do. It's a kind of lookup. You can do a lookup. Even if you want to get the data from text file, you can get the data from text file. And in SSIS, let's say I got a data from the flat file or text file. I'll call it as text file. Okay, text file. Then what I will do, I want to load data into a table. So in between that, I want to do many conversions. I want to do some, I want to clean the data, like I want to do many conversions. So that all it will be very hard for you to do in the T-SQL. By writing a T-SQL code, it will be very hard for you to do that. Okay, and you need to be very perfect with them. So what Microsoft, it made easy. Just you will drag, you will create one connection for the flat file, and you will create a transformation. What it does, whatever the data you load, you can do transformation, you can convert whatever thing you want, and then you can directly load into the server or directly load into the table. There is writing a code will be reduced in SSIS packages. It's a user friendly one. Okay. So now why we use SSIS? This is only the high level. Once you see step by step, you will be learning lot of things. And there are a couple of things like you can check, you can do some interesting things like you can clean the data. If you are getting some bad data, you can clean the data in SSIS. Okay, but in the T-SQL you can't do that. What are the things you can do in SSIS is user friendly, and it has some more advanced features which makes the user to execute. In a T-SQL also you can create, you need to write some other code and then you can do, but it is very hard. You need to be perfect in many other languages. Okay. So SSIS means it will make your work easier. Okay. Now let us see, and once we go step by step, then you will be clear. So at the high level you can see that whatever you do by using T-SQL, you can do everything by using SSIS, and SSIS has some advanced features where there is no need for you to write the code. Just you can drag and drop. It will be easy. It's a tool type thing. SSIS is a tool type thing where you can easily load the data. It will be easy for the users. Okay. Are you able to get my point now? Hello everyone. Do you all get that? హలో, అర్థమైంది అందరికి? Okay, so now I am going to explain the real scenario with the SSIS, why we use them and what is the basic thing. Okay, so there is a company 1, okay, company 2, or both are different companies. Okay, there are couple of scenarios. I will explain many of scenarios. Okay, I will explain 2 to 3 scenarios. Now the company 1 uses SQL Server as a database. Now what I want, I will have the company 2. Company uses some Oracle database. Okay, company 2 uses Oracle database. Okay, Oracle database. Now what scenario is it? Let us say after some years the company 1 bought company 2. Okay. So you might be not knowing the internal thing what is going to happen. You will be knowing only one thing, that okay, company 1 company 2 merged, but after merging there will be many issues between the companies, because let us say company 1 will have some account standard. So company 1 will have multiple users. Okay, multiple users, company 1 will have multiple users, company 2 also will have the multiple users. So here the company one, the user IDs is based on the user ID. For creating a user ID, it will follow some standard. It will have 3 digits plus 3 digits plus 3 digits. So, first 3 digits will mention, let us say it is a location. Okay. Next 3 digits will be for the inside the location department, and next 3 digits it will for the employee ID. So, let us say I got the digits as 001, 001, 001. So, the first 3 digits will show which location is that, the next 3 digits will show which department in that location, and the next 3 digits will say which what is the employee ID in that department if for that particular location. Okay, it is a 9-digit code, standardized. But whereas a company 2 does not have many branches, company 1 has like 10 branches. So, that is why they use this method. So, company 2 does not have any branch. So, directly it will have the user ID, that is it, column called user ID. The user ID is a standard like 3 digit or 4 digit, it will have the 4 digit one. Okay, that is the one thing. And one more thing, there are some additional like here in the company 1, okay, company 1 will store the data, like whenever it will store the data in the year level. Here it will have multiple columns in the table. Let us say there is a table called sales. Sales will have company ID, year, month, and some date, year, month, and time, year, month, day. Okay. So, for today's date, we will have the company ID 101, it is a 2014, month is 10 and the date is 28. This way it will store in the company 1. But whereas the company 2, just it will have one column called date, that date will have 2014-10-28. Okay. There will be like different scenarios, the data is not in the same way. Company 1 is using different format to store, company 2 is using different format to store. And if company 1 or something at the end what happens, the owners for the both the companies will be 1, right. So, what is necessary is that he wants to get the data from both the companies and compare. You want to see the total sales or anything, whatever you want to see some total sales, and you want to have some data. Okay. If I want to see total sales from both the company and company 2, then what will happen? Then you need to send 2 requests for company 1 and you need to send one more request for company 2. Then they will send you the data. Then you need to manually compare both the data. That is the one option that you have. Okay. Other option is that you can load both the company data and company 1 data and company 2 data into one server. You can call it as centralized. You can centralize the data. Okay. Centralized means storing all the company's data in one location. Then if the manager or whoever is the owner, if you want to get the data, instead of sending request to both the companies, he will directly send the request to the centralized data. Okay. From there they will be getting. So, it is like only one place you can find all the data. So, here the scenario arises. Since the company 2, company 1 is storing the user ID in this format. What about the company 2? Company 2 stores the different type, right. So, whenever you compare both the users table, you need to make it into a standard way. Then what you do? While loading the data, so in order to load the data from company 1 and company 2 into the company 3, you cannot into a central location, you will be using SSIS1. By using SSIS packages, you will be loading the data from the company 1 and company 2 into the centralized database by using SSIS packages. So, what the SSIS definition of the SSIS package is SQL Server Integration Services. There is one more thing, you will be calling it as ETL. ETL means extract, transform, load. Okay. Are you all able to get this?
Yeah.
Okay. Extract. So, what you are doing? You are extracting the data from company 1 and company 2. You are loading the data into the centralized one. So, extracting and loading. Then what is the transformation? Transforming means, since this user ID is different from this one, right. So, you will convert this user ID to this user ID based on the requirement. Let us say this. So, definitely when they acquire, they will give some location to this company, right. So, you will give that location, you will add that location manually, you will add that location, plus you will add that department, plus you will give that user ID number. So, you will manually convert. And one more thing is that you got the date in a single date. Either you will be converting this one into the date format, or you will be converting this one into year, month, date. So accordingly, based on the requirements, you will be converting them, and then you will be merging both the data. Okay, that converting and doing transforming the data, like converting into a single format or converting into some standard way, that method is nothing but the transform. Are you able to get my point now? So by using ETL only you can do that. So SSIS, that is the reason you will call SSIS as a ETL tool. So you will extract data from two different and you will transform them in order to make them into a standardized way, and then you will load into the centralized. It is a common feature whenever multiple companies merge. Okay, they want to have the data in a centralized location, because if someone wants to do if someone wants the data for the sales, then you need to send the request for each and every company, right? It's a big process. So that's why they load all the data into one centralized location, and they will make into the standard way, and there whoever wants the data, they will pull the data from the standard one, centralized one. It's a normal common standard that every company follows. And in the meantime, so it's not like you will be loading the data one day, you loaded, right? Every day there will be changes to this C1 and C2. There will be some new records added, there will be some new records, old records will be updated, same thing with the C2. So accordingly, you will create your SSIS package to run automatically. You can get the whatever the changes you made, that all changes you will be loading into the centralized one. Okay, you will be automated that. We'll see step by step process. So this is a one scenario I explained. There is one more scenario. Okay, there is one more scenario. I got a table. Let's say I got a bank. Okay, this bank is something like bank 1. I'll say this way, bank 1. There is one more called bank 2. Now you might be seeing the user in the bank 1 does transaction in the bank 2. Okay, user in the bank 1, he did some transaction, like there is a account holder 1, he is having some 10,000 records, he is having some 1,000 balance or $1,000 balance in his account. Okay, he is having some $1,000 balance in his account. So what he does, I think I'll stop this video. I think it may get corrupted. We can start with the second one.